the 16th page of the copies, which is page Chaf. We're holding in the middle of the page, line line 7. And we were discussing concerning explaining the idea of Yom Hilulah, the idea that Dafke by the Rashbi, who revealed the level of Pnimis HaTorah, there's the level of a celebration that's in the way of a chasana. Chasana shows on the power of the Ein Sof, whereas the passing of other tzaddikim is the opposite of Hilulah. If even certain tzaddikim, we have fast days associated with it. And to be able to explain all of this, we brought in the idea of neshamas being mahalchim and travelers. And it's being a traveler is something that is not really the neshama up lamaila, because over there, similar to malachim, they're considered oimdim, standing still. So to the neshamas are considered standing still in oil masal yonim, in when they don't come down here in this world. And after when they come down here in this world, that's what we have the level of mahalchim, because we deal with the berudim, we elevate because of the mag, ban, it's mamshuk all the way from the level of sag, so that breaks through all the boundaries. But even then, we said the ultimate level of the berudim is, or the ultimate level of the aliyah and the revelation of the Ein Sof comes because of and through the pnimius HaTorah, because since we know that through the revealed part of the Torah, the revealed part of the Neshama becomes connected only with the revealed part of Hashem, which is the Chetzonius, the level of Malklam, that's not true Bleakvul. But through the Pnimius HaTorah, that is what connects him with the Pnimius of the person's Neshama, with the level of the Pnimius of the Eibishter that's higher than everything. Then he still goes on, but still in all, why is it that all the other tzaddikim also had throughout their entire lifetime the avoid of the birur of Ma'oban? So therefore, they had the chibur of Ma'oban, and therefore they should have been drawing down from Sag and Yansei, the Rishtalshlos. Why is it different that by the Rashbi it's a level of a Yom Hilulah celebration, similar to a chasna, to the Gili, the Ein Sof by the chasna, versus when it comes to other tzaddikim that were kaved times. So we started explaining that the difference is, even though by every tzaddik at the day of his passing, there becomes revealed a powerful oil, because all the avoided that the tzaddik did the entire life comes together at the day of his passing, and it's oil malmatal in a way of Isrustul to draw down a great revelation from above. But that great revelation by all other tzaddikim remains above. That great revelation doesn't manifest itself down here. But when you have the level of and therefore, down here, it's the opposite. Down here now, the oir is lacking. The oir is missing. It's something less than what it should have been. Instead of it going, being a revelation of the tzaddik in this world, there's even less than that. True, there's a great revelation above, but down here it's missing, and that causes the level of types. When there's the revelation of the inner part of Torah, a tzaddik whose life was about revealing the inner part of the Torah, such as the Rashbi, so that ensures that the revelation that takes place at the time of the passing of the tzaddik, instead of it just being a level of istalkus l'mayla, and above there's a revelation, but down here we are lacking the tzaddik that is involved in his lifetime to bring about and to reveal the pnimius HaTorah, causes that revelation of pnimius HaTorah. Down here, the oir, that all the hamshachas and everything that he did his whole lifetime causes a greater oir to come down. To be able to explain that, the Rebbe started bringing what the Alter Rebbe says in Igeres HaKodesh Siman Chav Zayin about two aspects and two components that happens in the Hamshachas HaOir after the stalkus of the tzaddik l'mayla. One thing is that there is, when the tzaddik is mistalik l'mayla, then there is from his nefesh, of the three levels of nefesh, ruach, neshama, from the nefesh level of the tzaddik, there comes a revelation because of this high ascent and this ruslasata of all the Torah of the tzaddik and all the avodah of the tzaddik, a whole lifetime coming together. It causes that the nefesh of the tzaddik now imparts upon his talmidim a hamshacha from above that is a ha'ara, but it's in a way of maki. It's not something that comes down to mapnimius. What is the effect of it? It brings them to irhurichu. That is one hamshach that comes about through the tzaddik. Then there is another hamshach that comes from the tzaddik, and that's from the ruach of the tzaddik, the higher level than that. The ruach. The ruach has to do with the midos. The midos that we spoke about, that the true life of the tzaddik is ava and yir and so on. The ruach of the tzaddik, that when the neshama of the tzaddik was enclosed in the body, when the students received from the ruach of the tzaddik, from the tzaddik's ava v'yira, they were limited to only receive what was filtered through the ruach becoming enclosed in the nefesh, and the nefesh becoming enclosed in the body. So all they received while the tzaddik was alive from his ruach was a ha'ar. When the tzaddik leaves this world, then the ruach is not constrained by coming down into the nefesh and into the guf. So then the talmidim receive from their rebbe's ruach not just a ha'ara, but they receive from the atzmius of the ruach. But another important point is that not like what they receive from the tzaddik's nefesh, that from the tzaddik's nefesh they receive in a way of makir, but from the tzaddik's ruach they receive in a pneumistic way. And the Rebbe brings this from the way it's mashma from Megeres HaKodesh, and this pneumistic way, since the ruach of the tzaddik and the life of the tzaddik is emunah and avaviyira, so it imparts upon the students in a pneumistic way avaviyira and emunah, which also has to do with our kiyum mitzvahs, because the av is the shorish called ramach mitzvahs asa, yir the shorish called sham mitzvahs loisa. Therefore, the Rebbe is now going to explain, now that we understand these two components that occur in the revelation of the tzaddik after his passing, we can understand the difference between a tzaddik that revealed Pnimius HaTorah during his life, that taught Pnimius HaTorah during his life, versus the tzaddik that taught Nigla HaTorah. Again, line 7, page Chof, 16th page of the copies. End of the line. Pisa moving according to this understood. Shabeis Hayilul Tzaddik, during the time of the yard site of tzaddikim, sheikir in Yanamay and Nigla Torah, that their primary involvement was the revealed part of the Torah. So in the neshama of a person, we said before, the Nigla connects the Nigla part of the neshama. Galia of the neshama, through Galia the Torah is connected with the Galia of Kuchabrichu. What's the revealed part of the neshama? That part of the neshama that's completely enclosed in the body, which is the nefesh. So therefore, those tzaddikim that they were involved in revealing Nigla Torah, since the revealed part of the Torah is similar to the level of nefesh, so primarily what they are imparting to their talmidim after they pass away, there's only the ray that comes in a makiftic way, in a transcendent way. And it affects thoughts of tshuva, like we said, comes from the nefesh of the tzaddik after he passes. But concerning the hamshacha that's internalized, that we said before, that is what's missing by the tzaddik that taught Nigla during his lifetime. The Rebbe gives a very interesting type of metaphor in a way that you can actually touch it. When it comes to the tzaddik that taught nigla, it's in a way that down here below, after he passes away, the light is missing, the light is lacking. It doesn't come down in the pnimius. Therefore, we fast on the passing of tzaddikim who taught nigla, because down here in our world, we are lacking when the tzaddik passed. That his purpose and his mission and what he did his whole life was to reveal the inner part of the Torah. That the inner part of the Torah is similar to the level of Ruach and Neshama, because we said that the Pnimius HaTorah, that Sasim Daraisa, reveals the Sasim, or connects the Sasim of the Neshama, the concealed part of the Neshama, with the concealed part of Hashem. What is the concealed part of the Neshama? What is that level? That is the level of Ruach and Neshama of the Neshama, of the person's Nafsholakis. So by the tzaddik, like Rav Shimon Bar Yochai, that reveals the inner part of the Torah. So by him, what's his main avodah? With the nefesh, with the ruach and the neshama part of the person's nefesh. Therefore, these are also hakshurim in bechinas hamachshava. The ruach and neshama part of the nefesh is connected with the level of thought. That's beyond the level of speech that's connected with nefesh. If you think about it, the speech is about revelation. Therefore, it's the level of the most external part of the nefesh. The midah is the moichin, that's all internal. That's sasim. Machshava is also sasim. Machshava is concealed and closed inside the person. So since his avodah was with the level of ruach and neshama, therefore, what's coming down is from his essential level of ruach, not just from the ray. And because of that, because that was what he did during his lifetime, that he was sharing his neshama and ruach and connecting the neshama and ruach of a yid with the Eibishter. So therefore, when he passes by Yidei Hatzet, Nimshachim Chayat Tzadik Emunah Yira V'Ava V'Pnimius, L'Talmida Cholu. Through that comes down the life of the tzaddik, which is belief and awe and love, in an internalized fashion to his students and the students of his students. And therefore, it is something that we have what to rejoice on, as he's about to say. That's the unique thing concerning the Yortzeit of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. The Yeser says, the Yeser Oz, that we find so much more powerfully. We don't find anything similar to it. The other tzaddik, that then his students and the students of his students receive to the end of all generations. Not just in a transcendent way do the students receive, but also in an internalized fashion, which again, this is something that we said, those tzaddikim that taught nigla do not communicate and do not leave for us, and therefore it's a fast day. It's something that we're feeling their lack. We don't feel what we're gaining from it. And it actually manifests itself in halacha. The Rebbe always tries to connect the most spiritual things with the most down-to-earth. Halacha is practical. Halacha makes it like, if you will, real in our eyes. It's not just Kabbalah or Masal Yonim. We see that this joy of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai manifests itself actually in halacha. Though there's many matters, things. He doesn't even want to say what they are. But he's talking about the morning halachas, the halachas of Avelos, what we're not allowed to do during Sfira. And these are both before Lag BaOmer and after Lag BaOmer, according to many minhagim, including our minhag. In before Lag BaOmer, when Lag BaOmer comes, Yom Simchasoi, the day of the Rashbi's joy, Nasis Simcha b'chol echad ve'echad, becomes a joy in every single Yisrael, top of page Chapal, every single Jewish person. It's like Klal Yisrael amongst Klal Yisrael. Lahamshich simcha tzuma lamata, to draw down a powerful joy down here below. Adlin yom shem lamata masar tvachim, until not just spiritual joy matters down here below. We play music, we sing, we dance, we do all the things that on Sfira, it's out of the question. Why? Because this is how powerful the revelation is of the Rashbi's power on Lag BaOmer that actually manifests itself in matters of joy, contrary to the period before it and the period after. Any question? Continue. Top of page called Aleph Ois Test. Sign the mimer, and the mimer of the Tzemach Tzedek, on which this is based on, includes this is what Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai said, Ana Simona Ba'alm, I am only a sign, meaning I have no self, ego, and so on, just like a sign pointing to, say, a certain city. The sign is not the city. The sign's entire function is about pointing that this is the certain city, or it's the address of something, or whatever. Has no self ego. That is the same thing that Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai said. I'm only a sign for Hashem. I have no self. Now, Ba'alma in Gemara language means only. It's nothing. It's. But the Rebbe is going to be medayik in the word Ba'alma different than the simple meaning. So he says, first of all, why was he completely in a way of just being a sign? Because the neshama of the Rashbi was mamish from the world of Atzilus. And Atzilus, we know, is completely bottled to Hashem. We know Atzilus is Olam HaAchdos, the world of unity, that it's Hashem is completely united with the spheres of Atzilus, not like Bria and Yitzir Asiyah. They're already created, which means there's Hashem and there's the created matters. Atzilus is only an emanation from Hashem. They're completely connected to Hashem. So the Rashbi, being a Neshama of Atzilus, also was not an independent thing. He was only a sign for Hashem. But the Rebbe adds, the Rebbe brings it like in a drush type of interpretation. That this sign that the Rashbi was only in the world, or not only in the world, but this was in the world that the Rashbi manifested this here. So, it's talking about this low world, this physical world, this coarse world, until the world the way descended in such a type of descent that there's no descent lower than this. In the generation of the heels of Mashiach. That's how low it descended. Even this generation, it's called heels, indicating how low and insensitive it is, like the heel. But that descent that the Rashbi even descends into our generation, it's actually an indication and a connection with something very high. No, it's Chilosum B'Seifon, the Adra, but just the opposite. No, it's Chilosum B'Seifon from the beginning. The highest levels are to be found at the end. It is of the Zohar, like it's brought down in the Zohar, a very interesting association between the Rashbi and the generation before Mashiach. That the Zohar says, there will not be in the world a generation of such like greatness, until the generation of Mashiach. So we see the highest comes down the lowest. We're calling it equal to the Mashiach. It's like a heel, and yet Dafka over there, Dafka equal to the Mashiach is the highest generation that hasn't been since the Rashbi. And not only that, but it's the day, it's the generation Mashiach Tzidkeinu will come. He will redeem us in the complete and true redemption. He will lead us upright to our land. In such a manner that the Bnei Yisrael are going out with an outstretched arm. That's an expression that the Torah uses when it comes to the Yidden going out of Mitzrayim by Kriyas Yamsuf, that they were going out with an outstretched arm, with a raised arm. So the word Rama, what's the expression beyond Rama? So the Targum, who doesn't just translate but also explains, so he explains as follows: the Pirush Targum, like the Pirush of the Targum, is Bereish Gli, with an open head, meaning a completely revealed in all its full glory and power. The Isa Besvarm is brought down Besvarim, Bereish, this word Bereish Gli, Bereish is Rosh Tevis Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. So again, this type of connection with Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, with the Geula, and the Bnei Yisrael Yotzim B'Yad Rama is not just limited to Yitzias Mitzrayim, but like we know, it's connected to the future redemption as well. So as well, when Mashiach comes, we will also have this type of idea of the Yad Rama, the Reish Gulei, and it's all connected with Bereish, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. All this will be speedily in a fast way. Below 10 handbreadths. The Simchas Olam al Roshim, and everlasting joy on their heads. Like Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai said, that there was a story that the Zohar relates, and this is also, we will be saying this, we will be referring to this part in Tikkun, Leil Shavuos, at the end of Tikkun, that it says over there that the Rashbi sat with Rabbi Lazar, his son, and Rabbi Abba, and they heard a sound, they heard a voice from heaven, and they trembled, their knees were knocking against each other out of fear. And this was the sound of the great gathering above, whatever that was. And the Rabbi Shbi says as follows, a very interesting thing. It says, Hashem, Shamati Shemacha Yoresi. Hashem, when I hear of you, I became fearful. So the Rashbi said like this: over there, in the spiritual realm, that is a correct way how to react. Fear and trembling. But Rashbi said, I have a different approach. Anan, us, bechavivusta talya milsa. We, our connection, our association is with the idea of love. Instead of the service being out of fear, like in the spiritual realms, we have to rejoice and be happy, and our service should be out of love to Hashem. And then, like it says, "V'ahavtas Hashem l'kecha," you should love Hashem your God. It says that Hashem, I loved you, says Hashem. But, so, in other words, our relationship with Hashem, the Rashbi says, this is what we're focused on. We're focused on a loving relationship with Hashem. Again, this is brought down in the part of the Zohar that we say at the end of Tikkun every Shavuos. Meaning, ba'ava begoli. We're talking here about a revealed love. And when love is revealed, because there are situations where there's like Gvura Shebechesed, when a person reveals their love, a parent sometimes has to reveal their love for a child by rebuking them when it's necessary. So the Rebbe right away says, no, we're not talking about that type of love. We're talking about a revealed love. And then, then what comes down from above is in such a way that whoever gives, he gives with a beautiful eye. Meaning, when a person sells something, so when you sell, you do exactly quid pro quo usually. You give me X amount of money, I give you this particular item or this particular service. You don't pay a little and get a lot. That's not how business is run. Yes, there is sometimes a concept of a baker's dozen, but that's also included in the business expense. When it comes to a gift, when a person is giving a gift, it's not about a business transactional gift. A person's giving a gift because of their love for the person, because how much that person is special to them. So the gift, a person doesn't go calculating usually and looking, maybe, it's not exact. No, a gift a person gives ba'ayin yaf. So the Rebbe is saying the same way, since Hashem's love to us is a revealed love, so he gives, when he's giving to us and he's drawing down to us, he gives us without type of considerations and limitations. From his full, open, holy, and broad hand. In such a manner, sometimes it could be that Hashem could give, but we don't have the kalim and the vessels to receive it. So we're saying no. In such a manner, he gives us shamatu kli legabel gilizeh, that the one that's below is a vessel to receive this revelation, and it becomes joined with this revelation. It says, one of the psukim where we bring us the proof of it, says, Mechalkel Chayim. So that Mechalkel can be read, Kli, Kli, two words, two times Kli, that Hashem not only gives us the life, gives us the chesed, Mechalkel Chayim the chesed, but he also gives us the kalim to be able to receive it. And we reach a level of going out of Golus in a way that will break the yoke of the yoke sticks, just like in the physical world, where they used to have a yoke over animals. So Kaviyachol, the metaphor, the Yidden are considered in Golus like being under the yoke of the Goyim, and the Absh will break those yoke sticks. And I will lead you standing, and I will lead you upright. This is because this mimer was said during the week of Parshat B'Chokaisai. So he's quoting from the brachas of Parshat B'Chokaisai. This is from Pasuk Parshat B'Chokaisai. So the period like explains on this pasuk, top of page Chav Beis, Teres Kainim. He brings it from the Medrash called Teres Kainim. That what does it mean? Usually, when a person is in a state of enslavement, he's bent over, he's so on. Instead, he will be standing upright, even when they go out of gold. Then we come to even a higher level in uprightness. That kaimiyus, the Chazal say, can be read as twice, plural of the word kaim, meaning kishnei kaimus shel adam harishon, like two heights of adam harishon, like two levels of Adam Harishon, loidak mea ama, not just 100 cubits. That's brought down in Chazal. That Adam Harishon after his sin was 100 ama high, but rather two kaimus. That means ala masayim ama, but rather it's 200 amas high. That's what we will be at when Mashiach comes. The kosher in Inyan, the Esrim Shana, that's connected with the idea of the 200 is also connected with the idea of 20 years. 20 is the Shtei Pa'amim Meya, because it has to, the 200 Am has to do with twice Meya, Shazawina Keser, that's the level of Keser. Keser is the numerical equivalent of the word Esrim. Esrim and the word Keser are the same 20. The same thing. And also Meya has to do with Keser, because Keser is the 10 spheres times 10. Has all the 10 spheres together. So it's a level of 100. It says like Abed Sora, we always have in the Mamorim. Meya ve'esrim b'sheva shonim. So Meya goes on the level of Keser, Esrim goes on the level of Chacham Bina. Sheva has to do on the Midas. But anyway, so Meya has to do with the level of Keser, but it's Masayim Amma, twice Keser. By the way, the significance of 20 years is because that year, what the Rebbe said, the Maimer Tavshon Lamed, was 20 years since the passing of the Frierdiker Rebbe. This was 1970. The Frierdiker Rebbe passed in 1950. So you have, what's the idea of twice Meya? If Meya once 100 is the level of Keser, so twice Meya means that we don't just have the external level of Keser, Yachad and Pnimius HaKeser, along with the inner level of Keser. So that's why you have twice 100. The kaimamius, like we said, the way it comes down here below, because of mamish speedily, idea puts myself through spreading the wellsprings outward, with the simcha, out of joy and gladness of heart.